Okay, thanks everyone. With this, I extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Suhas Lalinakere Yathiraj IAS Secretary Sports, Government of Uttar Pradesh. I still have to meet people who are as dynamic and energetic as Suhas ji is. You have experienced this. I have had the privilege of interacting with him in person many times, and every time I come back more energized than anything else. He is an IAS officer, 2007 cadre batch. He's an Arjuna awardee, Indian professional uh, badminton player. He's completed his engineering from National Institute of Technology. He won gold and became first ever serving Indian bureaucrat to represent and win a medal for India at global level. Some of the achievements I think you guys are aware of: Asian Championship 2016 gold medal at Beijing, China in men's singles; BWF Turkish Open Para Badminton Championship 2017 gold medal in Turkey in men's singles and doubles; Asian Para Games 2018 bronze medal at Jakarta, Indonesia in men's team; National Para Badminton Championship 2018 gold medal at Varanasi in men's singles; and BWF Uganda Open Para Badminton Championship 2019 bronze medal in Uganda, again in singles. So, sir, we would request you to give your opening remarks as you have interacted now with some of the members of Sportscom, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for the kind introduction, Jalajji. And first of all, sorry, I think the official designation is so long. So generally it should have been Suhas, but I think I've already joined. I'm trying to change it, but it's not getting changed. So I'm sorry for the long designation instead of the first name basis, which is generally there at the corporate level. So yes, so let me talk about few points that I have noted down, which I think are important in Indian context going forward. I'll be very brief, and then probably we'll have discussion that would add value to me, to all of us. Sports in India, we have been a sports watching nation, I think since 1983, since the advent of color television, the 83 World Cup, how Kapil Dev lifted, and recently we celebrated. So we have been sports watching nation for quite a few decades. But in last 1 decade or so, after internet and people are becoming fitness conscious, and we are becoming sport playing nation at a very fast pace. During our school times, we used to hear Australia is a sport playing nation. Even till date, Australia is considered as one of the nations that society aspires to be when it comes to fitness, being fitness conscious and sport playing nation. So now the challenge is, how do we enable the society to transform from sport watching nation to sport playing nation, and how do we tap opportunities from government perspective? How do we enable and facilitate from corporate perspective? How do you tap opportunities? Essentially, you look at it from the perspective of those who pursue sports as passion, that is everyday. You just go enjoy. That's probably what 95-98% of the people, they do enjoy their sport 1 hour, whether it is jogging, badminton, tennis, or whatever sport. And rest 1 or 2% who want to consider sport as profession. That would involve a total different level of perspective as to what kind of training they need, the competitions that they attend. Second point is with respect to the kind of infrastructure where we are in India, and going forward, how can we improve? If I can speak about UP, we are doing progress leaps and bounds in terms of availability of infrastructure at not only district level. District level, generally infrastructure has been there at the block level, even at the village level. So there the challenge is, in some of the sports, it is relatively easy to create the infrastructure that they need, whether it is volleyball or kabaddi or kho-kho, weightlifting. In some of the indoor sports, it is that much more difficult. For example, a volleyball indoor court would require a height of 12.5 meters, the clearance as per the guidelines. It's very difficult to create such kind of infrastructure everywhere. So the challenge is, how do we, within the budgetary constraint, how do we come up with an infrastructure wherein all kinds of sports can be catered to? One of the ideas that has worked well, that I've seen in many of the districts that I've been in so far, is schools and colleges have traditionally had quite a lot of infrastructure, but they have not been used that well. So recently, one of the good developments that has happened in NCR is some of the private companies have come up. I think everywhere now, essentially many of my, as the introduction said, I am an engineer from NIT Surathkal. Many of my college mates who have ended up starting the startups. So you essentially find a solution most likely through technology to solve a society's problem. The problem in sporting infrastructure is, how do you bridge the supply and demand? In NCR, many companies have come wherein they have started to develop apps, and they have acted as bridge between the availability of infrastructure and the demand part of it. Second part is PPP, public-private partnership, with respect to the available infrastructure. Again, a good example is if you ever visit a Noida stadium, if you had visited 1 year ago, it was a multi-purpose hall, it was half built, etc. But then the administration, Noida authority, gave it to a private party wherein he had to invest more than 10 crore of rupees. But now if you try to book it online, you will not find a single court available. In fact, one of the first pickleball court Rakesh ji was mentioning was started in Noida stadium only. So essentially what happened was, it was a public-private partnership wherein the stadium was half built. After due tender process, the private party came in, he invested his money, and now he's running it beautifully. So almost all the major leagues are happening. Now next challenge with respect to sport is, how do we package it and make it entertaining? If we look at the kind of budget or the kind of finances that cricket gets, one of the reason is, one, it is a sport which is good to watch in terms of how it is packaged, and essentially it is considered as a form of entertainment. How do we essentially convert our sporting events into entertainment? That is a thing to be. In fact, I was discussing this with the head of Eurosport, which essentially broadcasted Paralympics. So Paralympic matches generally were hitherto previously not considered as entertainment. Yeah, but this Tokyo Paralympics, each match, for example, my final match, it had more than 5 million views in social media. So yes, what he was telling was, if the sport becomes entertainment, automatically the financial viability comes in without any problem. Next is, I'll just probably take 2-3 minutes more, then we'll open up for discussions. The role of federations is very important in sport, because most of the sport is governed by different federations. How do we strengthen them at especially at state level and at district level? For example, swimming federation. A swimmer in any district will probably finds it difficult to find proper infrastructure, and if he finds it, then how does he get the money for training, competition expenses, etc. So essentially the present model is, sportsperson approach the federation. Federation has to tie up with different, I was seeing many Sportscom members who actually support individual athletes. I think we need to look at the role of federation. Next, with respect to the support of athletes, probably the core part wherein most of you already do. As all of you know, the government of India has the NSDF, National Sports Development Fund, the top scheme, Target Olympic Podium scheme for elite players. The challenge is always, how do you identify the budding athlete and actually give them money? So in UP, recently we have started Eklavya Krida Kosh in line with National Sports Development Fund. So what we are targeting is, those who are not covered by Government of India and not covered by elite foundations like the participants of Sportscom, we are going to fund them up to 5 lakh rupees per annum so that they get a chance to go up to the next level and participate. And with respect to, I was reading regarding Sportscom, and many of the members are manufacturers of sports good. So the challenge in manufacturing in general and especially with respect to sports good is, in today's day and age, consumers are spoiled for choice. Essentially, all of us, if we open our Amazon, Flipkarts, so we are all having choice, and competition has become so immense. I think it is more or less becoming the play of volumes. On the other day, I was in Decathlon, which is a French company, which is probably doing so well, and they are able to sell quality products at a low price. One local retail seller from Lucknow had come to meet me. So I asked him, has it really affected? How do you, are you able to cope up? He's an old-time sports retailer in Lucknow. He said, yes. The challenge is one day, in fact, I was thinking that the prices in Decathlon or all these places will be very less. So what he was mentioning was price is almost same or even higher, but the way they package it and the way they market it, and essentially consumers are attracted towards it. So I think now ये जो कहते हैं ना कि marketing का ज़माना है, and probably Indian manufacturers should also do better in that. And one more, what I have seen in government is more or less most of the state governments and central government, we procure through GEM, Government E-Marketplace. So what I have seen is many of the original equipment manufacturers are not there in Government E-Marketplace. It's an Amazon for government. So I would urge through Sportcom to all the manufacturer to get registered in GEM portal, because essentially it is a win-win situation for both. Governments would like to procure huge volume of infrastructure. Essentially, for example, we are procuring for more than 20,000 villages, the volleyball, the nets, the basic sporting infrastructure. We are looking for original equipment manufacturers in GEM portal. So the major OEMs, they don't participate. Probably then, it becomes difficult for the government also to get quality products at a very good price. So I would urge all of you to register in GEM portal and participate in the bidding tender process. So I think that's all I wanted to say as opening remarks, and I think Q&A, discussion, suggestions, they add more value, and I would request Jalaj to take it forward from here.
Thank you, sir. I'll open up the floor for inputs from the esteemed members.
Jalaj bhai, may I come in?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I'm Kavas Bilamoria. I'm an Arjuna Award winner in Judo. Sir, you have so much clarity on how to make sport exciting and how to make it an entertaining affair and entertainment for the masses. You said cricket is easy and entertaining. No, cricket isn't. It has very complicated rules, but it has been marketed so beautifully. And once we got a World Cup under our belt, it just took us to another level. It was fading away till the T20 came. And again, at the T20 level, thanks to a young, fresh team led by Dhoni, we were back in action. Came the IPL immediately after that, and cricket has gone to another stratosphere. We rule the world. Right. Now, the leaders of cricket at that time, and even now, are very strong personalities in themselves. They are not insecure. I'm sorry to say, most of the many of the federation heads are insecure people. They don't want to make stars of their sports persons. And because of that sport never comes up. They'd rather have their place than the sport prosper. It is a sad truth, but it is what it is. It is changing. It is changing very fast. And I'm sure with the advent of clever marketing and more world champions in India, for example, badminton, I mean, and now soon we'll have someone great in table tennis. But I know what obstruction table tennis has, in spite of people wanting to do so much good work. But keeping all that aside, India is on its way. We are becoming our culture in the past, they used to say was only agriculture. It's now sports culture. And as you said, we are on our way to success. There is no doubt about that. And I'm positive about it. Sport is a script which is not written. Nobody knows the end. It is very easy to produce this film. Just take a camera and shoot it, right? The end, nobody knows. It's a lot of suspense. And therefore, there is entertainment in every sport. We should know how to tap it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I think that is very well said. I agree with that. It's a beautiful script, every sporting achievement, and that is probably the reason why this time Olympics, Paralympics, it caught the imagination of the nation. Because I to just add to one more point, point is every one of us innately we want to succeed in our life. When I used to watch Sachin Tendulkar in my childhood, so I wanted to be like him. So essentially, every one of us, whether we end up doing it or not, that's another thing. So it's like, in our heart and heart, we want to succeed like that. So I think sports sort of creates heroes. So wherein we are all probably heroes in our lives, every one of you, every child. So that craving probably is, that is where the interest in sport comes from.
Thank you, sir. Others want to say something? Ask.
Suhas ji, it was refreshing to hear you speak, and we have been at the forefront of creating a sporting culture through mass participation. So, whether it's the Mumbai Marathon, Delhi, Bangalore, and so many cities today, there are many, many events across the country. And mass participation in the Prime Minister's vision of a Fit India movement forward. And I think, Uttar Pradesh, with so much happening, is ready for a world stature mass participation event. And I truly believe that it has been one of the catalysts of spreading the culture of participation in sport has been mass participation. So we here at Sportscom are happy to engage with you and your team more deeply and see what more can be done. I think UP is now such a wonderful spotlight on UP in so many different ways. So very nice to hear that, Suhas ji.
Thank you, Vivekji. UP is definitely changing in terms of the attention it is giving to sport, and yes, it's probably next to Brazil in terms of the population and the kind of talent that we have. You will see in the coming months and years, UP doing much better in sports and giving medalists.
Looking forward to that.
Good evening. Actually, I have a value proposition rather than anything else, sir. UP is doing so much work, and as you rightly said, it is next to Brazil, literally as a population, as a country. Sportscom here has people from various expertise in the sports sector, be it broadcasting, be it event management, be it stadiums, be it policies, be it various aspects. We, sir, wanted to understand, so how we can work with the UP government. One, to advocate the kind of policies so that you're talking about, maybe that has not reached the grassroots. How can we work with the UP government to advocate the sports policies and take it down to or amplify that message, and how we can help in getting more corporates to invest in sports in UP, sir? So is there anything that you had in mind, and sir, that we can work with you on?
Yes, two things. One, coming to the specific point, already UP this time, for the first time, the cabinet has already approved for development of sporting infrastructure through PPP model. We are developing one in Meerut and one in Lucknow. So second point, I would circulate the new sports policy of Uttar Pradesh. So which is very much, we have modeled, we have studied policies of Government of India and various states. And then we have come up with our own policy, wherein the government is giving budgetary support and is essentially encouraging private participants also to participate. I would request you to go through that and then probably come up with a proposal as to how we can collaborate moving forward.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So this is Rakesh Kohli again. One of the major problems as sports manufacturers we are facing at Meerut is the shortage of land. Industrial land is not at all available. Now we have started a new project in pickleball. We have interest from all across the globe to invest in that project, including Tiger Global. But our major issue is that where is the land available to get such an industry up and running in Meerut? How can the state help us in that, sir?
Rakeshji, I don't know if you participated in the last investor summit, wherein I am sure the local administration would have got in touch with you and you would have given your letter of intent, LOI. So if you have not, you can always contact us in Lucknow. We will get in touch with the industries department. The UP SIDA, that is the UP State Industrial Development Authority. It has land banks in most of the districts and it has in Meerut also. So we'll find out.
No, UP SIDA doesn't have a land in Meerut, sir. They don't have at the moment.
So then Meerut Development Authority would be the nodal agency in that case. So we will tie up with the Meerut Development Authority and Invest UP. We will try to help you in whatever way we can. So you can just send us a proposal. We will try to take it forward and see how we can help you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Others? Suhasji, I have one request. I have spoken to the industries secretary also other day at the factory inauguration last Sunday, and I'll request you also. We have many members from Meerut here. So as Sportscom, we would like to hold in the next few weeks a meeting on the ground and engage with all the manufacturers and see whether it's ease of doing business. As an athlete, you understand the challenges with certifications from international bodies, which is what we as SCALE, Ministry of Commerce and Industry are working on, or any of the other quality related certifications and things like that. We would also invite you and we will check your availability as far as the date is concerned and hold an interaction with all our members in Uttar Pradesh, in Meerut, in the month of July or August, as per your convenience.
We can do that. In fact, we can hold a meeting with the stakeholders of Meerut, and we can involve the MSME department, which is the nodal for one district, one product, where Meerut, if I'm correct, if I recall, it is the sporting goods is the product that is selected for Meerut in UP, and we'll request the industries department, the local development authority, and the MSME department, which is the medium and small scale industries department, so that we can all sit together with stakeholders and we can see how to solve the issues and how we can take it further forward. We can do that, definitely.
I don't know if many of us know that in Meerut, when the UP government had honored all the Paralympic sportsmen, including Suhasji, for winning the medals in Olympics. And I think the maximum number of money which was given to the sportsmen was in Meerut itself, about 8 months back.
Yes, yes. Meerut has always been, Honorable PM was there. Meerut has always been the nodal for sporting development, and you would know that our sports university is also coming up and a lot of work is going on in that regard also. So yes, Meerut is definitely a priority for state government.
Yeah, a lot of industry can come to Meerut, sir, if the land is available. So, I mean, of course, I'll interact with you separately on that. Yeah. But land is a major hurdle at the moment.
Yes, yes. No, we'll hold meeting of Meerut Development Authority and all the other stakeholders, and we'll see how we can resolve.
Sure.
Thank you, Suhasji. I know you have some other commitments after this, so we would just like to thank you on behalf of all of us at Sportscom for this interaction. Very energizing, and look forward to meeting you in person in the next few weeks on ground and taking this agenda forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Jalaj for having me, and thanks to all the members for joining. And whenever any of you are in Lucknow, please drop by for a cup of coffee. I would love to host you. Thanks for having me.